My name is Clement. My family and I are from an area called Orange County in New York. I would say around late January, once this started spreading around and how quickly it seemed to start moving to different nations and countries, is when I felt it was going to be a lot bigger.
Orange County is located around an hour and a half north of New York City. So when the virus was confirmed in the city, it wasn't long before it spread up north. As of April 27th, there are now more than 8,000 confirmed cases and just under 300 dead. Can you tell us how, since this whole COVID 19 pandemic has started, how it's affected you and your family on a daily routine?
Well, for one of the things, instead of my daughter getting up and going to school on the bus, she's now homeschooled. Thankfully, where we're at, the school district has a lot of things to do this online, a lot of resources. So the teacher posts the stuff on there, and I just help her go through it, the math, the English, and whatnot. And in that sense, I've become sort of a teacher to her as well for all the new material that she's learning. And thankfully, this will help her be able to progress to the next grade, of course.
My name is Ashley.
How has it felt adjusting throughout all of this, doing the schoolwork at home?
I sort of like it, but once they started introducing times, I really it was hard for me.
So learning new material has been difficult.
Yeah, learning the new stuff on the computer has been hard. My parents have been very helpful about learning the new material.
With everything that's been going on before you ended up getting homeschooled, did they talk about coronavirus at school?
Just the kids and the kids on the bus.
Now, when everything was going to happen and school was being closed down, how did it make you feel?
I didn't really like it because I knew I'd miss my friends and the teachers.
Did you miss going to school in general? How have you been dealing, do you feel, with everything going on and having to pretty much just stay home?
I don't really like it besides being with my parents. I like that part, spending more time with my parents.
Do you get frustrated with your parents while being cooped up at home? For my wife working, she also took off starting March 16th. She took off for 3 weeks from work to stay home primarily. Thankfully, we're financially stable enough where she's able to do that. She tried working for 4 days after the 3 weeks, but due to the stress and everything else, she took off an extra 2 weeks on top of that. So starting the week of April 27th, she's going back part-time for the first week of this. Then the next week after, she's going to try to go back full-time at her job. Of course, this will bring complications, but we're going to try and handle it the best we can, even though I have issues being high risk.
What kind of complications are you referring to?
When I was a teenager, I went through cancer twice, and after that, the treatment came back on me. In 2011, I was diagnosed with lung and heart disease. So I guess you could chalk that in that if I was to catch this or something, I'm very high risk and I could definitely potentially die from this disease. This has affected me emotionally quite a bit. I try and continue on as, I guess you could say, status quo with the new normal that is existing now, with the teaching, trying to just keep myself busy at home with gaming, you could say, or working out, but emotionally it does affect me quite a bit because just not being able to go out and all the precautions that have to be taken due to certain health complications. When my wife gets home from work, the first thing she's going to do is take a shower. Afterwards, I'm going to be aerosol down the bathroom with a disinfectant, and then several hours afterwards, I will take her clothing over to my parents' house because that's where we get our laundry done, and we will get it washed up, and you use the sanitize cycle for the dryer to make sure that if there's any potential of the virus being on her clothing, that gets washed out. And then also wiping down inside the bathtub and such with a cleaner to make sure any trace of any virus that would potentially be in there is killed. We attempted this before when she had originally first started going back to work. And it will be continued on, of course, when she returns to work starting this next week. What is it you would like to do after everything is over from COVID-19, when you're finally able to go out again?
Go to the skating place, go to the arcade, go to Billy B's, go shopping, and go to the park, Sailwells, and the other park that has the trail.
Is there any place specific you want to go eat at?
East.
What is East?
A sushi place that you can pick the sushi that you want off a conveyor belt.
The thing I'd have to say I'm looking forward to doing the most is getting out with my family, spending time in like the parks or going out to eat. On top of that, I definitely want to get back onto the working out routine I was starting up. Several of those days was going with friends as well and helping them work out, and it was a way to, of course, socialize and get out and see other people. On top of it, I would love to get down to the city with the Astoria Filmmakers Club and start the projects going that we're planning on working on once everything is open and we can actually do things together. I'd have to say that's pretty much covers it all.